What's up, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite average to good YouTube channel, Golazo America. And it is the summer of soccer here in the United States, and it sure has been something, right? Am I right? Of course I'm right, because I'm Jimmy Conrad. Also, we're 2 match days into the Gold Cup, and the other Call It What You Want guys, Big Tones, Tony Viola, and Chuck Wagon, also known as Charlie Davies, and I, Jimmy Conrad, cream cheese, trash can, red dot Conrad, have some average to good takes. But first, before we get to me, I'm going to let our resident number 9, Charlie Davies, kick it off for us. What do you got for us, Chuck?
Thank you, Cream Cheese. Appreciate the shout out. And it's my turn. So I want to get into the hot topic of coaches, the 3 coaches for the host nation in next summer's World Cup. We're going to talk about U.S. men's national team's head coach, Mauricio Pochettino, Jesse Marsch with Canada, and Javier Aguirre with Mexico. So first, I'm going to start off with Mauricio Pochettino, who's tripped into the Gold Cup. I mean, he's really fumbled from the Nations League, losing both to Panama and Canada in the 3rd place match, to losing the 2 friendlies in the tune-up to the Gold Cup in Turkey and Switzerland. So we were waiting for a response. We were waiting for the big match, and it came with a 5-0 win against Trinidad to kick off the Gold Cup. Such an important result for this particular group, for Pochettino. And then following up with a 1-0 win against Saudi Arabia, who was resilient. And I think he's learned a lot about this squad. He's learned who his primary starting 11 is for the most part, the guys he can trust in this tournament. He's gone with a cohesive side, continuity, I think, over experimentation. So his stock is rising, and something we all needed. We want to see this team go far, and I think he's got the blueprint to at least make a deep run, which is much needed. Now we go to Canada. Jesse Marsch still serving a touchline ban, but this Canadian side is frightening with all the pace they have. A 6-0 win to kick off Gold Cup against Honduras. We see Tejan Buchanan looking like his old self, running down the flanks using his pace. You got Jonathan David still as dangerous as ever in the attacking third. You can play through him. He can be the exclamation point in scoring goals. This team looks very good. And then we look at Javier Aguirre. He's finally felt like he's restored the culture, the faith, the mentality of L3. Mexico, 2 wins out of 2 matches in Gold Cup. They are flying under Javier Aguirre. And Rafa Marquez, the assistant manager, it just feels like this team is finally getting back to what they used to be, a dominant Concacaf side. Big Tones, I'm coming to you next. Oh, get your popcorn out. Off to you, Tones.
Chuck, thanks for that little breakdown of the 3 coaches that have their teams qualified for the World Cup, and now they've got some work to do to get there. What I want to talk about are the other teams that might potentially qualify for the World Cup. As we know, as you mentioned, we got 3 hosts. We have 3 automatic spots, and then potentially 2 more out of CONCACAF through intercontinental qualifying. They'll have to go through a playoff system, but let's see the teams that might potentially be part of that. I'm looking at World Cup qualifying at the moment, looking in Group A. Honduras leads that group, a team that's always been difficult to play in CONCACAF. In Group B, Costa Rica and Trinidad. Currently, Costa Rica under Miguel Herrera, a guy that wants to get to the World Cup. He's got some work to do, but leading Group B currently in this. Remember, Costa Rica coming off a 4-3 win against Suriname, so scoring some goals. And of course, they beat the Dominican Republic in their match as well. In Group C, this one's the interesting one. Curacao, a team made up of a bunch of guys that have Dutch heritage, and Haiti, which happens to be the U.S.'s opponent in match day 3 in the CONCACAF Gold Cup. They're on 12 and 9 points respectively, so they've got some work to do. In Group D, I think no surprise, Panama leads that group at the moment, 12 points to Nicaragua, who has 9 points right now. These are all after 4 match days, of course. Group E, a little bit of a enigma. Certainly, Jamaica, head and shoulders above everyone else in the group. Guatemala, Dominican Republic, Dominica, and the British Virgin Islands. But I think we've been saying for years now, or at least I feel like we've been saying for years, that this is a team that we want to see come of age. And Steve McLaren's got some work to do. He had that 1-0 loss against Guatemala. Now, I know it doesn't affect World Cup qualifying, but can he get this team going in the right direction? And maybe the surprise of CONCACAF qualifiers, Suriname currently leads Group F over El Salvador. Suriname, a 4-3 loss, we mentioned, to Costa Rica, and then the 2-0 loss to Mexico. So they have some work, but I think a country that's going in the right direction. So if I had to put my money on 3 right now, and I'm not a betting man, so it doesn't matter, certainly I would look at Panama. I think they've been the cream of the crop of all the other teams. Of course, we saw them beat the U.S. in Nations League. Jamaica, I'm still going to put my money on them. That Steve McLaren gets it right with their group. And then Costa Rica, who could be the opponent in the quarterfinals of Gold Cup for the United States. Outside shot with Honduras. If you want a bit of a sleeper, I mentioned Suriname. Can a small nation like Suriname get to the World Cup? We'll see. Curacao, Haiti, they've got some work to do, but they can make a little bit of hay and maybe get to a playoffs as well. But to round it up, Panama, Jamaica, Costa Rica, I think will be the next 3 that will go through to the World Cup and round out the 6. So with that, I'm going to throw it over to my good friend, Jimmy Conrad. What do you got for us, Red Dot?
Love the take, Big Towns. Now it's my turn. If you haven't been paying attention, we are in the midst of the summer of soccer. Okay, and if you want the international game, we got the Concacaf Gold Cup. If you want to see top clubs from around the world participate in a tournament, we got the FIFA Club World Cup. You want to support your local club? Guess what? MLS, NWSL, and all of USL is kicking off and in the midst of their seasons right now. It's all happening, which is very cool. But it's also happening all at once. And I feel like that is less cool, especially from an attendance perspective. There's just too much to choose from. Then you throw in the amount of money that FIFA was initially asking for tickets to the Club World Cup, let alone for parking and concessions, and then CONCACAF was doing the same on a lesser scale. And you'd have to take out a small loan to afford to go to a game. I mean, for a family of 4 to go to one Club World Cup game, okay? Humor me here. It was averaging around $500. Then you throw in parking, minimum 50, right? Let's be honest. And then what? You got to throw some money down on food. You got to enjoy the experience. That's at least 100. And now that I actually say this out loud, that feels like a low estimate for FIFA in particular. It's probably more for a family of 4. Though, what has transpired since? Due to low interest, FIFA has since lowered their prices, which makes me really proud, actually, of all of you out there, because we will not get needlessly fleeced until next summer, because that ticket is going to be super hot for the 2026 World Cup, right? And if you have a chance to go, you got to go. So here's my advice, just overall, starting with this summer of soccer. If you can get good value on a ticket now, you should go. You should definitely go do it. See your favorite club, go support your favorite national team, go support your local team. That is a must. And I say this because you could go to a fan zone next year and just have the greatest time. You're surrounded by your people that love the game as much as you do. You can just absorb all these other cultures and the way that they celebrate the beautiful game. It's incredible. And so maybe splash some cash on something over these next 2 summers, but don't get fleeced. Okay, that is the big takeaway here. So what are your thoughts? Sorry, I got going. What are your thoughts? Hit us up in the comments right now. Hit us up at Golasso America on the Twitters if you'd like as well, on Instagram, and then hit like and subscribe. Keep all of your action and your energy and enthusiasm in the chat, in the comments, and then let us know what's your biggest take so far of the summer of soccer.